Back, everybody. I'm Chris Stewart for BamaFever.com. Yesterday on the site, we spent a little time talking about Alabama baseball and the Crimson Tide connection to that Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Alex Avila and David Robertson both seeing action for the American League squad last night. It was neat to see them get a chance to play together in that second inning. When David came in relief, of course, Alex was the starter, the first Alabama player ever chosen as a starter for Major League Baseball's Midsummer Classic. But neat to see them play together. And if you're a casual observer and you knew that those two were teammates in 2006 for the Crimson Tide when they won the SEC Championship, you may not be aware, though, that's the first time they were battery mates. Alex was a freshman in 2006, was a DH primarily. Didn't catch until his junior year, which was his final season for the Tide. So he didn't have a chance to catch David until last night. First time that had ever happened. A little strike him out, throw him out, double play involving the two Tide stars ended that second inning. Alex, although he went 0 for 2 offensively, hit the ball hard his second time up, got robbed of a base hit before he exited going into that sixth inning. So neat to see Alabama represented so well during the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Now, while I was on Twitter last night and posting some comments about those two guys being involved, got a lot of response about it. But also, it was fun to get a couple of tweets about Alabama basketball. I got to tell you, that's been happening a lot lately. And, of course, here we are in July. You don't ordinarily hear a lot of Bama basketball talk. But ever since the NIT ended, boy, that is something that has not been very rare. I can't go more than a day or two without having somebody want to talk to me about Bama basketball, and even fans of other schools have said, man, y'all really have something going there, and they're expecting the Tide to have a big season. And it's not just the year. I think people are excited about the direction of the program for Anthony Grant. And while it's not unheard of to have basketball discussion this time of year. Ordinarily, that only happens for Bama fans if they feel like the football season is not going to be exceptional. Obviously, that's not the case. Bama football predicted to be one of the top 5 teams in America in virtually every poll. So the excitement that's created, or the excitement about Alabama basketball, is genuine, and people are realizing, hey, there's no reason you can't be great at both sports. Both teams have terrific history and tradition, but it's been seldom that you've had those great seasons running parallel to each other. So hopefully that'll be the case here in 2011, 2012 for Bama basketball. A lot of reasons why. The roster is terrific. The schedule, though, is going to be very challenging, and some great opportunities to see Alabama against great competition this year. You got the Puerto Rico tip-off taking place in November. Alabama is part of a field that includes Purdue, Maryland, Temple, as well as a couple of teams that they saw in New York in the NIT Final Four last year, Colorado, and the eventual NIT champion, Wichita State. So good to see those teams. It was announced a couple of months ago, I think, that Georgetown will be coming to Tuscaloosa December 1st for the SEC Big East Challenge. Also a lot of talk about Oklahoma State playing the Tide in kind of a return game. Last year, Alabama faced the Cowboys in Oklahoma City in that all-college classic, and it looks like Alabama and Oklahoma State will meet in Birmingham this year as well. Look for that to happen maybe in late December, early January. I was looking at Kansas State's schedule and saw that Alabama is on the schedule to play them in mid-December, I believe, in Kansas City. And that's kind of a return from 2 years ago when Alabama and Kansas State played down in Mobile as part of the little doubleheader that's involved with their football bowl game. So some exciting things going on, even some rumblings about VCU coming to Tuscaloosa and playing this season as well. It's going to be a great non-conference schedule, as well as the usual very tough Southeastern Conference slate. But it's just fun talking a little basketball this time of year. Saw Coach Grant at one of his camps in Tuscaloosa 2 or 3 weeks ago and was relaying the fact that so many people are talking Bama basketball right now with so much excitement and enthusiasm, and he smiled and said, well, that's good. That's the way it's supposed to be. And you get the feeling that that's going to the way it'll be for quite a long time with Anthony Grant at the helm of the Alabama basketball program. I promise we're going to talk football. That's coming up here very soon, tomorrow, in fact, here on BamaFever.com. Looking forward to talking about some of the players on these preseason award watch lists. And there are a ton of those lists, and there are a ton of Alabama players that are on there as well. Don't forget, next week, SEC Football Media Days coming up. We will have extensive coverage and commentary here on the site as the league's players and coaches, as well as media from all over the country, will be in town. And we look forward to talking to a number of individuals as they make their way to Hoover for SEC Football Media Days next week. But still a lot coming up before then. Look forward to talking to you again tomorrow right here. I'm Chris Stewart for BamaFever.com.